Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while. I apologize for that, but we're back and we're gonna have content way more consistently now rather than once every 5 months or so. Um, because now we got GoPro batteries, so I can run all day and not have to worry about it. So, without further ado, we're out on East-West Rush today doing a tournament. And pre-fishing, what we found was that they were deeper on 8 to 10 foot weed lines, uh, actively feeding. But day of the tournament, we had a storm roll through, and so we had to make minor adjustments while we were fishing the spots that we were. And on our first location, we messed up. We only got one fish off of it on a Texas rig, um, and pre-fishing, my dad and my buddy pulled up, and within 3 casts, had doubled up on 3 pounders there. But obviously, pre-fishing is not a tournament, and so we didn't make the adjustments there. And so when we moved to our second spot, we were able to realize we needed to slow way down from what we were doing pre-fishing with square bills and jerk baits to fishing jigs and Texas rigs. The storm had really shut down those fish. They were still there, just not hungry. Um, I threw a square bill a little bit on the first spot, didn't produce a whole lot. So we tried it. We went to silent to try and be a little bit more subtle to trigger those bites with a moving bait, but still be finessey in a sense because it was silent, so it wasn't clacking in right in their face after they had just been traumatized by a gigantic thunderstorm that delayed us 2 hours. But it did work. Got a little bit of top water action. He was throwing a sexy log, throwing some milfoil and feet of water. Um, that was really all it was going, to be honest. Um, One of the other guys in the tournament was frogging later in the day, but he just stuck it out on our weed line. We knew there were decent fish there, and we tried to make it work, and it didn't work out exactly like we were hoping. But it was still fun. Caught fish. So this was actually our second fish uh, of the day, and right here, I want to say, oh, this is actually where I catch something that's not even a bass, and I'm throwing squirtbill here again. So far, squirtbill's 0 for 2 today. It's the only two I caught on it, and that was after that I set the rod down and didn't touch the rest of the day. This is actually the second one because on Friday, that Friday of the tournament, we were pre-fishing, and on a BT6, I snagged another bluegill. For some reason, they're pumping those DT6s and squarebills. Not sure why, but hey, different species. Mixed it up a little bit. Um, that one that I'm throwing is a Strike King KVD 2.5. It's the silent version, which is ideal, in my opinion, for after a storm like that, if there's still going to be a moving bait. So, and then right here, this is when my dad is dragging that Texas rig out in the milfoil. We ranged everywhere from 13 feet of water into right on top of the point in about 6 to 7 feet of water, throwing all over on that point. They just weren't where we went, and the other guy that pulled up on the spot was on the other side of the point on the other break and ended up pulling 5 fish off of it. He said none of the ones that he had ended up keeping, so he ended up taking first and called out all the fish that he caught right in front of us, which was kind of frustrating, but more power to him, I guess. So we just need to do a better job next time of pulling up on our waypoint better. So that was our second. That was number one. So then the other one that I caught on the top water was our second fish. Now, partway through the day, we were fishing on west, and we looked to the north, and lo and behold, there's another storm front coming in. As you can see right there, It doesn't show it the best, but there's a massive wall cloud coming towards us. And we did not leave ourselves enough time to get back to the landing, sit in the truck, and wait this out. And so we ended up getting stuck, as you'll see, in between the two lakes in the channel. There's a pocket back in there, and we ended up just having to talon down, which thank goodness we had the talon because wind was still blowing around in there pretty good, but that talon just held us in place, and we just locked down in the middle of it so we didn't have to worry about a tree falling on us. And so we just hunkered down and tried to stay as dry as we could, which wasn't possible with the amount of rain we got. But it is what it is. So as we're waiting this storm out here, I'll talk a little bit about what I was doing on that second spot where we had to dip for the storm, and then we ended up going back there. So my dad was throwing square bill pre-fishing, and he caught some really nice fish. He was continuing to throw that today. It worked. It was catching a lot of smaller fish today versus in pre-fishing when he caught some bigger ones on it. But it was working because we still needed a limit. And then I was going with a black and blue Opticast tungsten swim jig with a watermelon colored Rage Menace as its trailer. So I mismatched the trailers because a lot of guys out here throw black and blue. But then if you mix it up a little bit, it just gives the fish a little bit something different they're not necessarily used to seeing. So I ended up catching our biggest fish on that, but of course I didn't have the GoPro recording. I forgot to press that when we got to the spot. But what I was doing with that was I would throw it up into about 5 or 6 feet of water in the weed line, and I would pop it out of the weeds and then let it fall. And if I could just barely pull it out of the weeds, like just give it enough to break loose and fall, that's what I was trying to do. And as I got toward the edge and there was less and less weeds, that's where the big one hit. As it was hitting the bottom, thumped it right on. Actually, it happened right as I finished the cast there, so I just pitched it out into the deeper water and let it fall down versus doing the full retrieve. And that's when that one hit. And I was doing the exact same thing with my 1/8 ounce tungsten Texas rig. Again, Opticast tungsten. It's super cheap. Go check them out. They sell it by the individual piece, and so if you want one of something, you can get one of something. If you want 6 of something, you can get 6 of something. It's super nice and super versatile for ordering, so you don't have to be roped into buying a 3-pack, a 2-pack of something if you don't need it. And they've got drop shot weights, they got worm weights, they got flipping and punching weights. They're coming out with a new tungsten ammo box, actually, which is pretty sweet, so that you can organize all of your tackle and know exactly what's in your box because they all have individual pictures on them. But back to the video here, I'll let you guys watch the first. So, like with this one, it's really open. Really, it's not a house. This is the first one. and then it realized, oh, but and I was really hoping that it was a muskie. Never caught one, but as I got it for the first time, I was like, stupid pike. We figured it was 36 or 38 inches. Um, Tip of the day right here for you guys. Watch this. Watch my rod. I'm doing that pendulum with Texas rig, and right at the end of the retrieve, I don't even know if the bait was exactly on the bottom or if it was even going to touch the bottom, but I got thumped by like a 3.5 pounder, not even 8 feet out from the boat. And I was throwing that Texas rig on a moderate action rod. That was a big, big mistake on my part. Um, and the reason being is I had mono on that, and stretching that line and stretching that rod could not get a strong enough hook set on that fish. So if you guys are throwing Texas rigs, throw it on a fast action rod, whether you're throwing it on a medium or a medium heavy. I would recommend medium heavy fast action. Fox River Rods makes one. Mine was, I forgot it at home for some reason. So I was making do with moderate action. But always throw those baits that you need a power hookup on a fast action rod so that you don't pop fish off like I did several times today. And that had nothing to do with my equipment other than me tying the wrong bait on the wrong rod. So, still love my Fox River rods. And thank you guys for watching. If you liked what you saw, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and make sure to drop a comment in the comment section on a video idea or a suggestion to improve for next time.